Hey there, and welcome back to Be Encouraged Moments. I just have to stop here and say that it is an honor to be able to do these videos and to be with you guys and to just talk about whatever's on our mind and hopefully bring you a little something that helps encourage your day or brighten your day, maybe a laugh or whatever the case may be. Today, we are going to be talking about families.
Yay, family!
We talk a lot about families on this show. I know I've referenced my parents, my brothers, obviously my little mini me a lot on this show. But what is family? I had to go look what the traditional definition of family is, and what I found was a group of people related to one another by blood or marriage. All of the descendants of a common ancestor, and then finally a group of related things. But is that all that family is? I know that not every family looks the same. I know that many families or people face heartache centered around what is classified as the definition of family. Broken homes, abusive parents, addiction, betrayal, lies. That list could go on and on, I'm sure. I didn't know those heartaches in my family. I was raised in a family where I was fortunate enough to experience love and trust and laughter and joy and truths and strengths. And again, the list could go on and on. But the family that I married into and began to grow into was not at all the family that I just described. That family, the family I married into, was surrounded by the heartache. It was surrounded by the anger and the abuse and the distrust. And again, I could go on. And so I had a daughter in that marriage. And so now my daughter falls into the category of a broken home. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that she doesn't have a family, a traditional family unit, if you will? So I guess my question is it that some of us just draw the short end of the stick and some of us don't, and that's just what you have, and some of us have good families and some of us don't? I don't think so.
No. I'm like, no.
So that's why I wanted to bring this podcast to you, because I think that the family that we don't have any choice of the family that we're born into, obviously, but I think we do have a choice in the family that we choose to grow into. Mm-hmm. Now, as I said, I do have a big family and I do have a close family. And so I'm fortunate in that regard. But my family doesn't live here. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my brothers, they're all far away. I hardly ever see the extended family. I see my brothers at least once a year, sometimes twice. And I'm still incredibly close to them. But they're not here living everyday life with me. They're not with my daughter with all of her ups and her downs and her wonderfuls. And, so I have chose to grow into or to create a family that surrounds my daughter in love and laughter and joy and all those things that I listed before. Jan being part of that family. She's become like a grandmother to my daughter, a mom to me. I know at the church, my daughter has an extended group of grandparents. We have a woman in our family who is in no way, shape, or form related to us, but she's very much an aunt, or considered an aunt in our family. I've worked with women who have experienced the traditional definition of family, their blood relatives, were all the horrible, awful things that I just listed above. But they have grown into a family that is not related to them, that has provided them all the things that I listed about the family that I experienced. I think that we get too hung up on the traditional definition of what family is. And that's why I wanted to come today and talk about this, because family is what you make it. Family doesn't have to be bloodlines. It was really interesting. I was just searching around on the web trying to find some fun quotes to share with you guys. And one of the things I came across was there was this organization that took the time to ask their board members, and I'm sure there was some relevant reason behind it, but they asked them, what does family mean to you? And what I found in the quotes was incredibly interesting. They were all very positive. But some of them did kind of center on bloodlines. But whenever it's centered on the like things or relative aspect of the definition, their quotes were very clinical, if you will, and less, they felt like something you were supposed to say about family. But the ones that spoke from the heart were the ones that really spoke to me. And I want to share these with you. I'm reading them because they are quotes, so bear with me. I am going to not quote, or I'm not going to give the names of the individuals whose quotes I'm reading out of privacy and respect for them. So I hope that's okay. So the first quote that I came across was, "I feel family goes beyond bloodlines, last names, or obligations. To me, the word family includes all the people in our lives who commit to love and support us unconditionally. It is not a passive birthright, but a choice, a discipline of kindness that helps us thrive both as individuals and as a society." It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Second one was, "To me, a family is whoever I can depend on for support, to laugh with, to play with, and to share the challenges and the rewards of life with." Another cool one. But this one's the one I really love. It's a little longer. "Family means having someone to love you unconditionally in spite of you and your shortcomings. Family is loving and supporting one another even when it's not easy to do so. It's being the best person you could be so that you may inspire your loved ones. Family doesn't see color, race, creed, not culture, it sees heart. Family isn't always about being connected biologically because it understands that other things and influences bind us together. Family is unrelenting. It's secure and reliable. Family isn't just important. It's what is most important."
I love that. That is so true.
Yeah. And so that's why I just, like I said, wanted to talk a little bit about families with you. Mm-hmm. If you fall into the category of the traditional family bloodlines that you grew up in, were any of the things that I listed, any version of the things that I listed about abuse and addiction and anger, that is your bloodline family. But you can choose to grow into a family that provides all the other things that all of these quotes, all the things that I have listed have done. You are a wonderful individual made in the image of God, and God knows that your family doesn't have to be bloodline family. So go out there and identify the people who are your family, because they're not always bloodline. And if they are bloodline, if you're fortunate like me and you have the parents and the brothers and all that, take the time to identify and appreciate how fortunate you are to have that, to have a safe environment to grow and be raised in. We love you. We're here. We're your family, even though you don't know us. If you are struggling with the idea of family and what your family is, feel free to reach out to us. Let us pray with you, pray for you, whatever the case may be. We are just so excited to be here. We love being here. Thank you, as always, for joining us for our Be Encouraged moments.